are getting to plant our onions today. A couple days ago, my onions arrived in the mail. I got them from Dixondale Farms this year. Last year I tried to start them from seed. It didn't work out very well for me, and since onions are a staple that I want to make sure that I can grow and have, I went ahead and got some starts this year just so that I could get a really good crop in. I have 3 bunches from them. The first 2 are the Patterson variety. I guess those are replacing the copras, which I know are very popular with a lot of homesteading channels that I watch, but Dixondale was not offering the copras this year. They said the Pattersons are the new favorite or the replacement for them. So I ordered 2 of those bunches, and then I also bought a variety pack for intermediate day onions. It has like a candy, a superstar, and a red candy apple variety, I think. And so it was just something different, just to have a little bit of a variety in my onions so they're not all just the Patterson. Gives me a chance to grow a couple different types, which is really nice. And today we're just going to come out here and go ahead and get them in the ground. I thought I would show you what I did last year that gave me some really good success. Last year I did try to start some of my onions from seeds, but they didn't go out or turn out very well. They kind of just ended up being more like green onions, or very small onions, maybe little tiny onions that you might want to pickle, but were not good for cooking. The only success that I had was actually when I bought slips or starts, or I didn't buy them, my friend gave them to me, these slips and starts, and I put a few into these little black bags that I have, and they did amazingly well this way. I got some really large onions, was very low maintenance for the most part, and I really liked doing it. So I thought I would show you how I'm going to do mine. It's very similar to how Rachel from 1870 Homestead does hers. In fact, it's pretty much what she does. She has great success, and I have found the same. So let's come in and give it a shot. So I've kind of marked my bed a little bit so I can tell my sections. This side over here is all of my carrots. Over here is where I'm going to be putting my onions. It's basically a 1 foot long strip along the edge here that'll be repeated on the other side. I've also kind of marked out the other lines. So this is 1 foot here, this is about 1 foot here, and for each 1 foot I am going to select 6 onions for that square. And I'm going to start with kind of selecting the biggest and best of the bunch to start out with, just to see how far I get. I probably have more onions than I need, but it's better to have more than less. So I'm definitely picking the biggest ones out first. And I'm just going to lay these out and make my way down the row and kind of decide from there what else or how else I would like to plant these. So I have all my onions laid out here in the bed, and when it comes to planting them, the instructions on the box say to put them into the ground about 1 inch deep. I'm not going to do that. I am going to just barely get them in the ground, like literally just kind of cover up the roots, and they're going to flop over a little bit at first, but when they get a little bit bigger, they'll strengthen up over time. So like literally just a little tiny standing up, and this will let the bulb actually bulb out and you'll get nice big onions out of it. So I'm literally trying to just cover up the roots and leave as much of the actual little onion part out of the ground. If anyone has any tips or tricks that they think works better than this, I am all ears. I'm just kind of doing it this way since I had such good luck with it last year. I've never tried it in ground like this. I've only ever done it in the little black bags that I had for all the excess vegetables I had last year that I wanted to plant out when I didn't have enough beds. So I'm interested to see if it works just as well when they're in ground. These are onions. Carrots are right here. Yeah. So that is this bed done. In the middle we have our carrots. On the outsides we have the Patterson onions. And I probably could have gotten away with only the one bunch. I have lots of very small onions here. Don't worry, I'm not going to let those go to waste. I am probably going to fill up a black bag over here with some of my compost and soil mix and go ahead and plant these a little bit deeper, not like I planted them here with the roots just barely covered. I'm going to go ahead and cover these fairly deep. I found that that works really well to make nice green onions, and I really like green onions, so I will probably use a good portion of those for that. Any of the larger ones I will definitely try to give away to some of my gardening friends. My friend Ellen over there, she's an avid gardener as well, so I will see if she wants any of these. As far as my variety pack goes, I have to figure out this weekend a little bit more concisely how many of my self-started items actually made it through the whole process. So I know that a couple of my brassicas, such as the artichoke and Brussels sprouts, did not make it. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of replanning and figure out where I want to put things in the garden. So this is where we're going to end for today. This weekend we will work on getting our garden plan updated with what we actually managed to start this year and see if we need to fill any holes. I don't think I'm going to probably go to a plant nursery unless I am really missing something, but I have most of the staples. I have my peppers and tomatoes. Those are all doing fine. I did end up with some broccoli, some cauliflower, some cabbage. I think 2 of the Brussels sprouts survived. I just didn't get quite as much as I'd hoped. So that's a good lesson for next year, that I am definitely going to need to make a lot more of the brassicas because I just don't do well with them. Last year I failed, and this year was mediocre at best. So I'm going to save these onions until I get a better idea of what my final count is, and redo my garden plan a little bit before we have the final push to get everything out into the garden. Our last frost date is coming up here. I believe it is May 10th, May 11th maybe. So we are almost at the point where everything can go out if it's not already out. And I want to get everything in pretty much within the next 2 weeks if possible. So it's going to be a lot of days like this where it's going to be an hour after work just getting something into the garden. Sometimes that's the best way to do it. You don't have to spend hours and hours out here. I'll just come out and do a little bit every single day. So I hope this was helpful to you guys, and I will see you guys next time.